So my name is Beck Brown. I'm a second year 4-H ambassador, and I'm going to my 8th year in 4-H. In the 4-H program, I have mostly focused on doing outdoor living and this year photography projects, but I've also pursued various different opportunities, especially public speaking competitions. And 4-H has helped me in so many ways over the past few years. And I'd say one of the most notable things 4-H has taught me is proper communication skills. Now, I'm doing an interview with Meg Caruana today. She is with the First West Credit Union, and her position is local marketing, community, and investment manager. So, Meg, do you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself in a couple of sentences, and then we'll get into a few questions?
Yeah, so thanks so much for the introduction, Beck. I've been with First West Credit Union for coming on to 6 years now. So it'll be 6 years next year. With them, my role has evolved over the years, but it's always been primarily local marketing and community investments. So, for those that don't know, First West Credit Union does have four brands, which is Valley First and Enderby District Financial. And then we also have Envision Financial in the Lower Mainland and Island Savings on the island. So, my work represents Valley First and Enderby District. Some of the work that I do is First West focused, however.
Thank you, Meg. So, jumping into our first question, as you reflect on your career, can you tell me a story or a high point or a time that you felt the most impactful, the most alive, or the most successful in terms of contributing to your community?
Yeah, I'm actually going to bring it nice and close to what our community has gone through in the last few weeks. I'm based here in Kelowna, so the McDougall wildfires, we've got Shuswap fires, and some in Adams Lake have been very significant, not only to those that are living here in the community, but our members, our staff, our colleagues. The minute it erupted on Thursday night, First West did put a team together immediately, contacting each staff member who has Valley First or who's based here in Central Okanagan region, making sure we're safe and do we need anything? That stretched out to the community. I was actually off on the Friday with a planned vacation day. My colleagues jumped in. We were in reactive mode, supporting branches that needed to close, supporting team members that needed to get home, didn't know if they could get home. But not even that, going above and beyond. By Sunday, our team had formulated over $35,000 in community donations. So the 35,000 was distributed out to a number of different community organizations that were responding to the needs and, really getting the impact to those that need it immediately. And that ranged from 15,000 to the Central Okanagan Foundation's wildfire response, $10,000 for Mamas, 2,500 for Kelowna Gospel Mission, 2,500 to the Central Okanagan Food Bank, and then also supporting our fires in the other areas of our community, 2,500 to Corston Kiramias Food Bank, and 2,500 to the Kamloops Food Bank. We've also set up a First West response team, which, daily we're getting active updates, but that team also has kicked in for our members. So any of our members who are directly impacted through the fires, we have a back on track system as well for those affected members. So community is the heart of being a credit union. And, rather than having to make long-winded decisions when a need arises, and being that we are all local here in the community, we're able to mobilize and make some really quick decisions and impactful decisions. And, this latest fire is probably one of my many proud moments working with the credit union.
Thanks, Meg. It's so great to hear that the First West Credit Union is reaching out and helping so many people in the community, especially with the big crises that we're going through with all the wildfires. Myself, down here in Vancouver, even I have noticed the impacts of the forest fires. We've had heavy smoke the past few days, so it's really good to know that the people that are struggling with the fires at the source are really getting the help they need. So that's lovely to hear. Moving on to my next question for you. Thinking about your community's contribution to your community, how do you feel that you've supported 4-H BC, or how have you helped make a difference within 4-H?
Yeah, I think we've been partnered with 4HBC. I believe it's 4 years now, 3, 4 years now. And the Youth Ambassador Program is really it's the crux of what 4-H is. The youth are going to be our next leaders, our next decision makers. When we think of agriculture, it's such an important part of, especially the Okanagan region, where we go, up and down the valley from agricultural farming to even produce farming. We have such an eclectic mix, and our climate really supports that. So, supporting the youth who are wanting to move into that area, perhaps have an interest in that area. And as we know, with climate change and the results of what happens, being good ambassadors and stewards of our land is very important for future generations, and to ensure that it becomes sustainable as well.
For sure. As somebody who's lived and grown up in the city all my life, 4-H has really taught me the importance of agriculture as well. And it's really good that the First West Credit Union is really recognizing that going into the second generation, it's really important to carry on with what we've been doing with agriculture. And I think supporting 4-H, as I'm sure you guys have recognized, is a great way to achieve this. So I thank you for that. Moving into my final question, Meg, what is one piece of advice that you would give to young leaders to inspire their future?
I would say take chances. So often we become decision paralysis, and it's hard to step outside of a comfort zone. Um, I've been lucky. Most of my leaders and mentors have been very encouraging. There's no such thing as a mistake. Even, you could take a big risk. It may not work out, but that's just a learning experience. And without having those learning experiences and pushing ourselves outside our comfort zones, we're always going to do the same. So I think my best advice is take that chance, think outside the box. If it doesn't work, don't beat yourself up over it. It's a learning experience, and then take those learnings into making that next big, great decision.
I totally agree with you, Meg. I think risk taking is a huge part of learning, and it sort of falls back on the 4-H motto, learn to do by doing. You can only learn something if you try it yourself. So I would really like to thank you, Meg, and the First West Credit Union on behalf of the entire province of 4-H members. 4-H BC really appreciates all the support, and we really give you all our gratitude for everything you've done for the program over the past few years. So I'd like to thank you on behalf of all 4-H youth for everything you've done. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I thank you for the ongoing support.
Absolute pleasure. Great to meet you as well, Beck.